everybody.
Hi, Dr. Fuego.
I am a PhD in everything fiery.
Alright.
Fuck,
this is gonna die.
No, and I laughed so hard because the Spanish version in Mexico and all the Spanish-speaking countries of the Fireman, the new Joe Hill book, it's just called Fuego.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
We are totally live.
I need to make sure we're good on the levels and stuff, so you gotta wait.
So, you guys see what we're about to be talking about today, right? Yeah. 5 films that we think that aren't horror could be made into horror, and we're all going to have to kind of plead our case with all of you and give some explanation, and we want to hear your ideas too. Isn't that right?
Alright.
Isn't that
Rubber
bad?
Soul's here.
Give me a second.
Yo, yo,
Rubber
yo.
Soul's here,
Bring
nice.
it down, players.
Rob.
Quiet, guys, I gotta do checks. Alright.
Howdy.
Check.
Microphone
Checkaroo.
check.
Okay, I'm here. Alright, Andrew, you're up.
Hey, testing. Check 1, 2. My name is Andrew Mercer.
Taika Waititi.
Brittany?
This is Brittany Lee, right here on this microphone.
There you
Talking
go.
at this
Good.
volume.
There you go. Alright, that works. Fuego?
Jaime and Fuego here.
There you go.
What up? ¿Qué pasa?
I'm gonna bring you down a little bit, you weirdo.
Oh, dude, we have a huge roll.
Huge roll call already?
Oh, man, it's ridiculous.
Alright, wait, hang on. I gotta fix the microphones.
Yeah, turn off the
Turn
volume.
Turn off your
We
sound.
have Rubber Soul, we have Burn It Down, Jerks Productions.
Yes,
Creepy Sexy
Brandon.
Nerd, Lydia Young, Matt Reyes, Tony Robinson, Vera
Yeah, what about
Vera Vet, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Kevin Ketchy.
Yeah,
I
Kev,
did
my
that on purpose.
dude Kevin, what up, man?
Sassy Southern Gamer. I see you.
Yeah,
Diane,
Diane,
Shrev.
what's up?
Shrev.
Chris is
Gravy.
on, yeah.
Diane
Chris.
Street is here?
Yeah.
That's Diane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
all
up, Diane?
for it.
Yeah, Scott, what's up, man?
Miss Morning.
Yep.
Chris.
And we've also-
Karstead.
Yeah, Chris is rad, and he's obviously a fellow Vikings fan, probably.
Yeah, how about that win today, buddy?
Alright.
Chase Smith is also here.
Yes, Chase, I'm very much curious about that Spanish film that you recommended to me, man.
Alright.
Nobody can be mad. I shouted everyone out.
Yeah, you
Everyone.
Go ahead, kill a little bit more time, because I got to,
Yeah.
I'm gonna share it
Good thing
around.
Sam Power just got here.
Yeah, Sam Power!
Sam Power!
And Matt Reyes says that's a pretty dope shirt, Cecil.
Oh, thanks!
Heck
Yeah!
yeah.
The horror show, this is courtesy,
Well, he's in the chat
designed
room.
by me, courtesy of Rubber Soul.
Yeah, so give that guy a shout out. He's in the chat right now.
Hell yeah, man, he did a great job.
Channel Sundown's also here.
Yeah.
What up, Amanda? Hey, I accepted your friend request.
And I apologize, Chase Smith.
Come join.
I didn't read all of it. I just read the beginning.
To
Chase did not want to be shouted out.
It's alright.
top. Hang on.
Top that! Who knows that reference?
Top that?
Top that!
Is that a fucking Teenage Witch reference?
Yup!
Oh my god,
The
dude.
rap scene.
Did you see that someone just came out with a new version of Top That?
I did not.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
no,
someone
no.
redid Top That.
That's funny. That rap is so early, late 80s, early 90s, it is priceless. Priceless.
I'm hot, you're not.
Horror movies you'd want to see a horror.
They're already going.
We should have just
Version.
gone. We should have just
Already
gone
going,
at
bro.
6, man.
They're already going. Is Sixth Sense a scary movie? Or
That's considered horror.
it's
Yeah.
horror?
Kevin beat me to mine, which is why I'm.
All right, we're not
gonna.
gonna talk about their picks until we've gotten through a few of ours.
Alright, fair enough.
All right,
heard the
so
man.
yeah, because you guys are gonna ruin some of our picks if we do
Yeah,
that
you are.
shit. All right. So all right, so I got it posted to Twitter. I got to do Facebook next on a bunch of platforms. So
Clearly we're prepared.
all right, I'm gonna go first though, because fuck y'all. So
Fuck y'all.
showrunner
Fuck y'all.
is taking the reins. The first one I'm gonna say, you guys, is I want to see a horror version of Labyrinth. I think it would be so cool. You could have even the same setup, a babysitter whose baby is taken by the Goblin King, except everything is a lot darker. Everything's a lot more evil. And that shit came off as dark and evil to me as a kid anyway.
Yup.
Like, let's get more sinister. Let's have the orange guys cannibalize each other rather than throw their heads to each other.
Yeah.
Let's have the two-sided door, riddle guys be extra evil and extra horrible looking and decayed. You know, let's have the Goblin King be a goblin underneath his suave exterior.
So he transforms, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Towards the end, and there's a battle with the Goblin King, and then let's horrorize that. Now, Andrew, can you monitor and let's highlight the comments that talk about the movie we're currently chatting about.
All right.
So if anyone's
That's
on
tough.
board with the horror labyrinth
That's tough.
idea,
Somebody said that was their number 3.
okay, all right. So yes, what do you guys think? Labyrinth? Do you think that could work?
Damn right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that and Dark Crystal. But
Robocop
Dark
said
Crystal, I thought was even scarier.
Those Fireys already make it a horror.
Those Fireys? Is that the orange guys?
Yes, the
Yeah,
dancing
that
orange
was,
guys who.
Who try and pull? Hey, her head don't come off.
They pull their heads
I
off.
fucking
and,
hate that.
they
That shit scared the
me
shit
as a
out of
kid.
me.
Big time.
All right, so go ahead. I'm gonna post it to our facing books and everything.
Facing books, the
Andrew,
books
why don't you go
facing.
next?
Dan said Labyrinth is a great choice, by the way.
Thank you, Diane.
That's. I'm trying to find everything.
Go ahead, Andrew. You're up.
It's hard to cope.
Take a
with
break
all
from
the
it.
comments. All right. I don't know. I didn't really put mine in an order. I
No,
feel
it doesn't.
awful.
No, this is in
Feel
no
awful.
particular order.
But one that I thought was kind of intriguing was kind of an evil Dr. Doolittle. The guy that uses his animal speaking powers to kind of wreak havoc. You know, you borrow a lion from the zoo to kill somebody overnight, send him back. You know, I don't know. It was kind of an odd thought. I was on an animal kick. I also threw in like an evil Jumanji.
Oh, I had that on my list. You can't take two. You son of a bitch.
It's on the
You're
same
supposed to-
line.
You're supposed to go.
That
one
doesn't
at a
matter.
time.
There's two different things. There's Animal and then there's Jumanji. Jumanji is an evil board game.
Animal, middle,
All right, that's okay.
or
Talk about it, because
vegetable.
then it's one less I have to use on my list.
Again, it's using a kind of like an animal summoning power, I guess, with the whole Jumanji thing. It comes in the form of a
See,
board.
I would have taken it as a horror board game that actually summons zombies, like a la Cabin in the Woods. So if you roll for zombies, zombies come. If you roll for ghosts,
Thanks, Will.
ghosts come. If you roll for creatures, creatures come.
There you
Like
go.
that would be
Wow.
badass, man. Like a horror Jumanji,
Yeah.
where it's not, you don't roll for jungle shit, you roll for horror shit. If you
Okay.
roll J horror evil bitch,
Yeah.
then you get a fucking Samara or a Kayako. You know, Sadako or Kayako coming at you, you know? Like,
And
that
they're
would be
not
so
pitching
awesome.
baseballs.
I didn't mean to hijack it. Go back to your animal one, but you
Again,
brought up Jumanji, so I had to jump on.
My thought with it was more of just like the animals are out to get you, in an evil way. You have to go to sleep. They're gonna find you then. They're not just gonna run at you. And
Yeah, they are. We gonna find
So-
you. We gonna find you.
I don't know. It was an interesting thought, but as far as an animal kick, quote unquote, that's kind of all I had. That's all.
Okay. Brittany, what would be your first one you want to talk about?
I would say Rise of the Guardians. That's that.
Animated Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Does that have owls in it?
No.
No, that's Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I made that mistake too.
No. This is
Table
one
cat.
with Jack Frost and the Tooth Fairy, and Santa Claus,
Okay.
and the Easter Bunny, who's actually like an Easter rabbit.
Voiced by Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
No
He's all-
shit,
he's all,
crazy.
Australian. I love it. It's so great.
Is he
'cause-
doing like his real accent then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing his real accent. But if you took all of them and made them all evil instead,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily the way Pitch was evil, but more like
I thought Pitch Perfect was evil.
Pitch was he was it was awesome. But to make them evil, like maybe they come and instead of taking the kids' teeth, they come and take the children, or they come and take a parent, or they kill.
Ooh, taking parents. That'd be cool.
They've taken the children.
Oh my god. Robert Saul, I'm sorry. He just said how the Grinch stole, raped, and murdered Christmas.
I actually had you. That's one of my picks, so that's taken then. Good thing I've got alternates. Haha.
Oh, man.
No, that's a good idea. I know we were talking a little bit off camera about how, like, what I found interesting about Brittany's idea is that every horror icon, every holiday icon has a group of kids that is scared of them for some reason or another. Some group of kids is scared of the Easter Bunny. Some group of kids is scared of Santa Claus. Some group of kids is scared of you know,
Tooth
St.
Fairy.
Patty's Day, the Tooth Fairy, whatever.
I was scared of
And
the Easter
so-
Bunny after the holiday short.
What would be interesting, yeah, the Easter Bunny, right.
Yeah.
What would be interesting would be, you know, the horror versions, the horror Rise of the Guardians would be those evil versions that visit the kids in order to keep their tales alive as well, because they would fade out if they didn't keep in the consciousness of children as well. So, I don't know, I was like, there's something to that. That's a cool
The aspect
crux
of
of an
the
idea.
memory, and that's how the present stays alive, is by the story or the legend or whatever getting passed
Exactly,
along.
exactly.
Interesting.
All right, Fuego, what's the first one you want to go to?
Well, shit, wasn't that why Freddy was like the whole idea of Freddy, and what was it, a later episode in the Nightmare on Elm Street series? Like, none of the kids on Elm Street remembered or knew who he was, and so like he didn't have any control because of that.
No, they never really touched on that. They went from
Help me out,
they went
I
from being the kids of Elm Street to the kids of the town of Springwood to that's it. That's as far as his reach got.
I could have sworn that there was an element in either the remake or in something where, shit, maybe it was even Freddy versus Jason. Who knows? Not important. So,
Go to your pick
my
already.
first pick, as I look at what Peeps are saying,
Peeps.
Pinocchio. Now, I know that they have already done it as Pinocchio's Revenge, but that was low-budget shit. Like, when Guillermo del Toro was trying to make a Pinocchio movie recently, I was like, okay, is somebody finally going to be faithful to the source material, which it's a toss-up between that and one other book, which is on my list as far as my favorite children's book that's not really quite a children's book. Carlo Collodi pretty much was writing something scary in a serialized version. Oh boy, I think it was Italian if I'm not mistaken, but Pinocchio gets terrorized by all kinds of different creatures and stuff in every installment. Whether when he's taken by the guy into the puppet presentation whatever shit, or when he ends up on the fantasy Pleasure Island, I should say, or when the fox and the I can't remember the name of the other animal, that they basically kidnap him and they hang him in the woods and leave him for dead. And he's a little bastard in it too. He kills Jiminy Cricket in the source material. Legit seriousness. And the cricket comes back and haunts him as a ghost and like gives him advice, but Pinocchio is a shithead just making bad decisions in the actual source material. There is one animated version from either the 70s or the 80s where they kind of got it right, but if you've only seen the Disney version of Pinocchio or the shit with the kid from Home Improvement, you have no grasp whatsoever of how dark this story is and how great it could be if they went, I mean, it wouldn't even necessarily have to be R-rated, but if they went like a hard PG-13 and made this dark and scary, I mean, he gets kidnapped by this weird, like, sea-dwelling guy, and he's trying to cook him and make him into a fucking stew. It's a messed up book. I love Pinocchio.
So,
what do you guys think?
A lot of people were saying Pinocchio, a real boy from hell. That's if a wooden Geppetto made Pinocchio out of flesh.
Okay.
A good one would be he turns victims into marionette dolls.
Kills him with his nose somehow.
I was gonna say, yeah, keeps lying and impales him.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you could do a faithful adaptation, full-on horror. You guys are going into where he's a little slasher fucker, and that's what they did in That's what they did in Pinocchio's Revenge. But
so, okay, my next one, I'm going to say, oh shit, I have a lot I would want to do.
Well, do you want to stick with the Disney style, the Disney theme?
I think I will, actually.
Right.
Not Disney, but animated. I think something that would work really well as a horror movie would be The Iron Giant. Because to see the Iron Giant actually go crazy and start fucking killing and destroying a town and a live action version of it. Yeah, Pacific Rim style. And only this one kid can stop, but the kid actually dies, and the Iron Giant goes crazy and fucking the world has to stop it or it doesn't, that would be a really cool fucking thing, because it's a hair's breadth from the Iron Giant becoming a horror movie when he thinks Hogarth is dead, and then when he sees he's not, he stops. So what if Hogarth actually did die? It could very easily turn very horror very fast.
Bring back Vin Diesel for that voice.
Yeah. Superman crush.
Yes.
So yeah, Iron Giant. Andrew?
I had a couple written down. I said
pick one.
Oh, pick one?
Pick
all right.
one.
All right.
Pulling a Fuego here.
I think
No honorable
at
mention.
least the one that I wanted to talk about was kind of like an evil
That's a
Casper
great
story.
idea.
But think of it in the sense, if anybody out there saw Blackcoat's Daughter, like an evil Casper,
One of the
where
best movies of this
your
entire
best
year.
friend is, a ghost, but he's wreaking havoc. He's, killing people, leading them to go crazy, all that kind of stuff. But he's your best bud. You can see him, you hang out with him.
Hey,
show
bud,
up
let's
every once in a
party.
while. I don't know, I thought it was kind of an interesting concept, but I can't talk about my other ones. So.
All right, yeah, no,
pass
you
the
can't.
time.
All right, Brittany?
Like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, the Narnia stories. Well, at least the first one.
Yeah.
The
Where you
BBC version?
No.
Way better.
Yeah. Where they enter into an evil world instead of a magical world,
Mm-hmm.
encountering all kinds of awful.
Like an evil hierarchy led by an evil Aslan, you know what I mean?
Like Pan's
Yeah,
Labyrinth, that
like-
shit.
Yeah. Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosmic shots.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree. I think that'd be awesome where, Mr. Tumnus is a little less trustable. He's got ulterior motives and he's trying to kill them,
Yeah. But he maybe could be absolutely just as nice until, he serves one of them up for dinner.
Exactly. Exactly. I think that's a great idea. That's a great one.
Alright.
Fuego?
Back to me. Sweet, guys. So, I'm a big fan of Home Alone, but since that was already mentioned, I'm going to go with another Christmas movie that I think could be really fucked up and crazy. It's one of my favorites. It's not the best, but it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's got Phil Hartman. It's got Sinbad.
Jingle all the way?
Jingle
Yes.
all the way.
I love that movie.
Imagine if Sinbad really is a crazy guy going postal, and it turns into cat and mouse shit between him after getting the toy that he wanted so bad for his kid, and he's just killing people along the way and terrorizing his family, and he kills Phil Hartman, or I don't know.
Well, let's be careful.
Sorry, that's already
That's
too soon.
Too late for that.
Too soon, guys. Too
soon, too late.
Did you have any holiday ones?
Do I have any holiday ones?
Well, they mentioned Grinch already. We've already mentioned Home Alone. Home Alone would have been great because of the fact that
Did we
it could
mention
be.
Home Alone?
Kevin Ketchy mentioned Home Alone, and I was like, dude,
Okay,
imagine.
well, but we haven't mentioned it yet.
Yeah.
We're the ones running the show right now.
Kevin did.
But the fact that
Kevin
somebody already
did, and
threw
we
it out.
thank you, Kevin.
That might be on someone's list, though, is what I'm saying.
No, it's on mine.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Well,
I think
but
it's on
we gotta
mine.
make
It's
that
probably
a
on.
turn.
It's probably on many lists.
I didn't make a list. I just wrote them.
You should have checked it twice.
I just wrote a bunch of stuff down.
That's
I
it.
just want to drink
It's
water.
not in list order.
All right, so did you finish
Just
that?
bullet
Yeah.
points.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay, I'm finished.
All right, so I wanted to jump in on a couple things. Lazy Gamer says, how about an actual Scooby-Doo horror movie?
Ooh,
Not
that's-
blood and guts, but you know what I mean. And I think that's awesome, where they're actually investigating a thing,
Wait till we live stream the news later
Okay.
tonight.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Whetting your appetite. Yes, guys, we are going to be doing the news with booze at, what time did we say? 7, probably?
Sure.
7 if we can.
Yeah, we'll do it at 7 if we can, depending on how long this goes. Okay, and then I wanted to show that Jerks Productions says my list is Drop Dead Fred as a psycho killer, number 1.
Great.
Number 2, Little Nicky as a killer demon.
I love
Number
Little
3
Nicky.
was Labyrinth. Number 4 is Mac and Me as killer aliens. And then number 5 is Ninja Turtles, where Casey Jones has to kill the mutant turtle monsters. I
Nice.
think that's
And
interesting.
he has to team up with April O'Neil again.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I like
There was
it.
some good chemistry in that first film between those two.
Good stuff.
I gotta say.
All right, so I'm going to move on to the next one then.
On to the next one. On to the next
So
one.
this one is really easy. I just want to see an actual horror version of Godzilla. Or a giant monster movie where it's done as an actual horror movie. Cloverfield might be considered that, but it's still a sci-fi thriller to me.
That had Lizzie.
I want
Kaplan?
to see a monster scooping people up and shoveling them in their mouth and chomping them down. I want to see the carnage that scared me in my dreams my whole life.
Damn,
that they
brought to
allude
life.
to. That they allude to in all these movies. They allude to that scariness even in Pacific Rim with that little girl when she sees the monster and it's coming at her and stuff, and then it gets taken down by a Jaeger. But like I imagine that's like the closest I've seen to it eating people. And same in Cloverfield, we never saw it actually eating people. You know, it's just causing damage.
Well, in the
I want to see why we need to be scared of these things outside of property damage.
Well, in the mid-90s Godzilla, the horrible one that the Independence team, Independence Day guys did, remember how they had the little Godzillas, which were almost straight up like velociraptors from Jurassic Park, and they were eating people, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That movie's not very good, but there were certain aspects of it that I liked.
Will Rope
Not
says
soundtrack.
Megalodon is coming out soon. Maybe that'll get you off, Cecil. Will, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You phrase things in the
PG-13
in the rudest
Meg.
way. Yeah, it's
Or
a PG-13
the
Meg,
Meg.
and it's got fucking Jason Statham in it. So no, I will see it. I will be excited to see it because I've been following the book literally since it came out in the mid-90s.
And we're going to be doing a review of the book, because that's going to be on my reading list for next year, man.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, that's what did I say? Yeah. So Godzilla for me, for sure, a giant
Godzilla.
monster movie that's actually a horror movie. Andrew.
Yes, that's me. So my next one, I'm a video game guy, so I'm gonna
Never would have
to
thought.
the video game realm. I'm thinking like a horror version of Tron, where it's more
Thank you,
blood and
Edward.
guts versus
So kind of mix in
pixels and
some
stuff.
Terminator type shit?
Yeah,
or-
kind of. Where like I said, it's more realistic than weird suits, all black, lights up, DJ stuff, or
Oh yeah, the second one especially.
yeah,
with all
maybe
the-
almost. I also put like Ready Player One, where you go
Have
from
you read
game
the book?
to game. No, but
You're just familiar with the concept?
just the concept. Mix that with Wreck-It Ralph, where you go from game to game.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. I like that.
But like do it with horror games, like you're jumping from the Resident Evil world
To Evil Within, to Silent Hill.
That could be cool.
Oh, that'd be
to
fucked up.
Doom.
Yeah, the Doom, dude. That'd be great.
Yeah.
A horror Wreck-It Ralph. That right there is a fucking worthwhile
There you
intro. Hell yeah.
And it could be like jumping into the games kind
That's
of thing.
great. I want to write that down anyway.
And it goes from live action into like a CGI film once they jump into the games. That could be
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, he's like,
It's a good idea. I get it. Yep,
it's
I'm
a good
smart.
idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty
Thank
You
good.
know where you want with it, I know. It's a good idea.
Brittany, next.
I'd love to see a horror-based Fantasia movie where you got
Yes.
the classical music and the images are just like terrifying. I don't know.
Trips
You
through
have-
different like it would almost have to be Dante's Inferno, like different circles of hell. You'd see different
Ooh.
visual representations of horror things
And it's
set to
death.
dark classical music.
Like death.
I still think when Mickey was bringing those things to life and he couldn't control them, like
Yeah,
that was
that
kind of
was
scary
terrifying.
alone.
Yeah,
Stephen King
the
talks about that
rooms.
scene in Fantasia all the fucking time in his books, like beating a red-headed dead horse. Serious.
Oh my god.
I know. Sorry to all you
What is Blood Sea?
Gingies out there.
Lazy Gamer, send me a link to that movie, Blood Sea. That he says, for your giant monster scooping people up, watch scenes from Blood Sea. You will not feel the same again. Shivers. Ghost cry in the corner for
Yeah.
hours.
That's
That's setting it up. Brittany, speak up, please, says Will.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead, Brittany. Just re-say it real quick and give your reasoning.
For the Fantasia thing?
Yeah.
Because, I want a horror-based Fantasia that has, like, horror images and deep, dark music. And it would be awesome because I love Fantasia. I watched it all the time, grew up with it, and it would be... Yeah, you got the one thing at the end with the well, he hasn't seen the end yet, with the demon creature. It's so awesome.
Oh.
So
But
what?
even that ends light at the end.
So would you have your Mickey Mouse creature like accidentally raise zombies instead of brooms with buckets?
I mean, the brooms are terrifying enough, but yeah, they could totally have a zombie factor and make
True.
it more terrifying.
True. All right. So he says Fantasia. That's actually cool. All right. So Fuego, your next
Yeah.
one.
As I look at my
Fern
list,
Gully.
I'm trying to, yeah, I know, that's what I meant. I was like, wasn't Avatar kind of going towards that, but
I want
a
to put
little
on a
bit.
shelf right here.
Kevin Ketchy just came up with a good one. Yes,
Thanks.
Black Sod is good, Sam. That's why I got the sequel. I need to get the next one.
What did Kevin say?
Ketchy says a horror version of Little Monsters.
Ooh.
where the
Oh.
monsters come out at night to take the children down to their world, and the kids have to fight back and create traps to stop them.
Yeah, that's kind of mixing it with Nightbreed, I
Mhm.
guess. So that could be dope.
Breathe.
I'd be down for that. A little Clyde Barker flavor. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna continue riffing on the comedy, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Oh, jeez.
How about There's Something About Mary, where Ben Stiller is like straight up stalker status? Because if you think about it, he kind of is in the movie. You know, despite the proclamations of her being a deuce and a half, he's undeterred and he goes for it, man. And he's like on his way there, and he picks up the hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker annoys him, and he kills the hitchhiker, and you can tell he's like think of the broodingness of Ben Stiller in Permanent Midnight, the weird Alf movie where he's like addicted to heroin and stuff. It's just like
perfect.
putting a creep ass slant on this, and then when he finally tracks down Mary, he like kind of spies on her for a little bit, and maybe he kills the landlord's dog, or I mean, there's so much that you could do with this where he's just straight up creepo stalker, and I don't know, maybe
Somebody
mix it
said-
with a little flavor of the Mark Wahlberg movie where he's like, "Let me in the house." I can't remember what the hell it was called. Maybe Fear. Or
Yeah,
something
Fear.
Like that.
Yeah, Jerks followed up and said the Cable Guy would be a good one. That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cable Guy.
Channel Sundown actually hit on one that might be on someone's list, so I won't mention it. But it's actually a really good.
Oh.
Has to do with swapping.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good stuff.
there's a good idea there. Well, she basically said Freaky Friday, but you change bodies with a serial killer.
What?
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool.
Damn.
Or freaky.
So I'm gonna jump on the comedy train, and I was gonna. These aren't my top 5 anymore. I'm just
Yeah,
kinda
we're just
with
going
the flow.
scattered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought Me, Myself, and Irene would be a
Ah.
great version of a horror movie because you have a guy with multiple personalities, and any number of them could be evil and killer, and one is the innocent one, you know, that kind of thing, and he has to deal with it.
Well, they kind of did
Oh,
that.
I guess that's true.
They kind of did it in Split too.
All right, fuck you guys. Next. Well, then no, I'm gonna give a different one. Fuck you. All right,
You got 2? You did 2?
you did 2 to start.
All right.
Ah, that's what she said.
All right, then yeah, I'm gonna go with a horror version of my favorite movie of all time, The Abyss.
Oh.
I think a horror version where the
That's what I
aliens
wanted The
are
Abyss to
actually evil and like trying to do bad things, but there's also the element of us versus us, and then like the water tendril could impale you know, a guy, and like you could just it would lend itself, I think, to horror pretty easily. So
It's kind of what I wanted The Abyss to be, and why as a kid
A
when I
little
watched
bit.
it, I was disappointed, and I was like, I like Deep Star 6 better.
Yeah.
The Abyss is so much better of a movie technically.
Yeah.
It's James Cameron. And
exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would have said The Abyss then,
Hmm.
since you guys shot down my Me, Myself, and Irene.
Are we going 2-pack? I got a 2-pack.
No, you're not going to.
No.
I got a 2-pack. I
No.
got a quick
No
one.
two
Go
ups
ahead.
outs, huh?
Alright, well, if I don't have a 2-pack, I'll just go with a quick one.
All right.
What about like a horror version of a Western? Think like a crazy Red Dead Redemption, but more evil spells or unlock Pandora's box type of thing, where the whole world's crazy and these outlaws have to save us. I don't know.
Kevin.
Interesting concept.
No, that's good. That's good.
Hey.
Kevin, just I'm reading
What
the
did
comments
Kevin
and it's
say?
distracting me. He said, a horror Goonies. The kids discover the Fratellis are a bunch of psychopaths that dress up as pirates and feed their victims to sloth.
What?
Yes,
That
Yeah.
is mind-blowing
money.
status, man.
that's money.
These are money ideas.
I like Jerk
Nano
says, I love how every stream goes from a straight list to just, fuck it, let's just have fun and go with it.
Yeah, that is often our MO.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would love an Inception horror. Be similar to Nightmare on Elm Street, but except you could go to different levels and things like that. That would be cool. That's good. That's from
Yeah.
Anibal Riveros. A horror version of The Hangover. Tony said something else earlier too. I can't remember what it was, but all right,
Horror version of The Hangover.
all right. So
That was a horrible movie
Brittany,
anyway.
your next one.
I'd like to do a horror version of the Brave Little Toaster.
Okay, explain that, please.
Well, he leaves all of his stuff behind, right? And he leaves it back by his house, and they're all trying to get back to him desperately. Well, when they get there, they're just like, "Motherfucker, die! Leave us
Die
behind."
slow, motherfucker, die slow.
And they all like get a taste for it. So the next time somebody comes and picks him up, they kill their new owners. you know, they become like false objects or something. Like, no, it's like, oh no. You guys said take.
No, I like it. I like thinking outside the box.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I like it. All right, Fuego. Next up,
Next up one for
See
me.
it at a pawn shop and it kills you.
Yeah.
the one-eyed,
Take it
one-horned
home.
flying purple
You take it
people
home
eater
and
would be
you
a horror
go to
movie. That's
Yeah.
true.
toast and then you get your toast stuck in it.
So I'm honestly,
Electrocutes you
I was
or something.
talking about this film just like
Burn your
yesterday
hands,
actually.
set on fire.
So check it. You take The Land Before Time, but you crank up the just horrific aspects of it significantly. Like you have like they're all kids, and maybe even do it CGI. Like maybe mix in some of the Disney dinosaur CGI flavor, and just have have it be maybe a slightly larger group of kids, like kid dinosaurs, and like a few of them die. They get eaten by other dinosaurs. There is like so much more of a full-on terror aspect, you know. That's at least something that I think could be dope, because I just love dinosaurs. Anything dinosaurs.
Nice.
Or I mean, shit. Maybe no. I don't know if I would mix humans in. The more I think about it, I was just kind of riffing on the idea in my head. But yeah, that's another one that remake it and just crank up the horrific aspects of it. I think that would be.
Well, if I'm gonna tag up on that without going into my next thing, I think the same thing could be applied to like Total Recall, where it's a very similar idea, but just crank up the horror aspects of it, the deaths and the kills and the traps and things like that. Could be really cool.
Well, and that would be the Home Alone factor too.
Right.
You know, is the fact that make it full on home invasion, and maybe Kevin's got a bigger house or a bunch larger house, like full on mansion status, and it's like a whole team of robbers, and he's straight up fucking killing them. Serious, because the things he was doing to them, they were probably dying in a lot of those scenarios, you know. So there you go.
So my next one would be I want to see a horror version of John Wick, starring Luke Evans from No One Lives.
A horror version?
You know what I mean? Yeah, where he is just he finds he's like it's like an action Dexter, where he like finds serial killers and he like takes them out, or finds groups of like gangs and goes and takes them out. I guess that's kind of the Punisher. But give me like a horror version of it, you know, like where it's really dark
Revenge
and he's
horror,
twisted.
kinda,
and give a little backstory as to why he's after this particular group.
So mix in some Death Wish kind of shit.
Well, yeah, a little Death Wish. Again, John Wick.
Yeah.
The dog thing is reason enough for him to go on a psychopathic killing spree. You know what I mean? So I think John Wick would lend itself very easily.
All right. I'm gonna completely change gears and go back to the kids movies.
Okay.
Will said Big Mama's House. That's hilarious.
I was thinking maybe like an evil Ratatouille, where the rat's like poisoning.
I was
random
just thinking
people
you were gonna say that.
in random places. He just goes from shop to shop killing people.
Yeah,
that he deems unworthy, maybe, or whatever.
Mix in some Sweeney Todd flavor and have some songs in there.
There
Were
you
there
go.
songs in the original Ratatouille? I can't remember. Were they?
Italian music
I can't
and stuff.
remember,
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I just didn't remember if they were singing in it or not.
Italian's music.
Italiano, Italiano.
Italiano, musical. Yeah.
Do like a soup, huh?
Oh, hey. Bobbity boop. That's all in there.
Well, you guys talked about Freaky Friday, but I was thinking, like, what about, like, 17 again? Like, what if some old person always had some, you know, if they went through their whole life fighting their inner demons of being a serial killer, and then they got somehow turned
A chance to
young
go
again,
back and
then
cut
they
loose.
they cut loose.
Nice. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I like that.
Or you could even do like the Tom Hanks big thing, like the person you grew up to be is like way more fucked up than you realized, and you're kind of like fighting your inner demons and please try not to kill, please try urge to kill rising, urge to kill
rising,
fading, gone.
Kevin Ketchy said a horror Miss Doubtfire. It's kind of like that.
We did mention
Yeah, we
that
did
in the
mention
pre-production
that before,
meeting.
yeah.
Different personality. Yeah, we mentioned it. We thought about it.
Yes, we did.
Did it make a list? I don't
Nah.
think so.
I think so.
Actually, Lazy Gamer Andrew mentioned Tron earlier.
I did. A video game evil style, where maybe you're going level to level, game to game.
Like
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph and Tron.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, Tron. What else? What else? I wrote down. Oh, Ready Player One. That's a new one coming out.
True.
So maybe you have a deadline. You have 48 hours to beat all these levels, or I kill you.
Fuego, your next one.
Yeah. Damn. You know, I'm gonna go another comedy actually. It's the Michael Keaton classic Multiplicity. So imagine if some of these clones were like varying levels of just straight up evil. So he's still good, and he's basically having to just kill off all of the different, varying levels of twisted and insane, just multiple personalities that have come out from the cloning process. And Keaton is badass, and he can do brooding so well, but he can still mix in comedic elements. Maybe make it like a horror comedy where just give it some Ash vs. Evil Dead flavor, and there's like just different varying levels of evil and silly, and just make every kill of the clones like hella carnage. And yeah, I think that could be fun. Plus, I just love Michael Keaton in anything, so you would have to bring him back. Maybe make it not a remake, but a Multiplicity sequel that explores the dark side of his continued experiments.
Creepy Sexy Nerdy says horror Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris is a serial killer with the same enthusiasm level.
Nice.
Channel Sundown says Ghost Dad. Need I say more? Not after all the allegations.
Too soon,
no.
Too soon, Amanda.
No, it would still be Bill Cosby to make it a horror movie though.
Bill Cosby. Oh,
I for one love Ghost Dad. I love that movie. Damn it.
I do too, but it could easily turn horror now.
Can I still love it? There's
Kevin Ketchy says a horror The Mask. Somebody stop me. Yeah,
if you read the Dark Horse comic books, they're straight up fucking horror, man.
Yeah.
They are pretty brutal.
Alright, so let's see.
Do we still have the list going?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Let's do one more round each here. Okay?
All right.
How far in are we?
So I'm gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
I want to see a movie like that where it's a team with that sort of fun dynamic that is out in space running across dead space like horror encounters and having to deal with it. I don't know that the whole team, whether it would be subsequent sequels or whether it would just be the one-off where the whole team dies except for one. Turn it in like cross Guardians of the Galaxy with Alien or something like that. I think that could be a fun horror movie.
Yeah, or maybe mix in some Event Horizon flavor.
A little bit, where it's like traveling teams, though, maybe, instead of like, a team exactly like Guardians. I don't know. It's just something I want to see more space horror.
So do I. There's not enough of that shit. I mean, Aliens is my favorite.
Alien Covenant, right?
Yeah, I love Alien Covenant.
Alright, so,
Alright,
Andrew,
I'm gonna leave
go ahead and do your 2-pack if you want.
Two pack.
I was gonna leave him with a holiday cheer.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright, so I'm thinking like a Santa style movie, but Santa's more like the Robo Santa from Futurama, where he hates everyone. And think of the movie like The Purge, where you only find out like 24 hours before that he's coming to just annihilate. What do you do? Like, he's coming no matter what.
That's true.
Bunker up? What do you do?
We've had a lot of
That'd be cool.
We had a lot of killer Santa movies, from
Yeah,
Silent Night, Deadly Night to the one with Goldberg in it. If you ever saw that one, being a wrestler fan.
Santa's Slay, except spelled S-L-A-Y.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah, there were tons others, tons of others.
Brittany, do you have one more?
How about Disney's Frozen?
Yeah.
Ooh, somebody in the comments had actually mentioned that.
We take Elsa.
No, riff on it.
Maybe she killed her parents for locking her up for so long, and then she goes on a killing rampage after that, and Anna tries to stop her somehow.
She would become the Ice Queen from Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah,
essentially.
that'd be cool.
There you go.
You could cross the two. What do you call that? Universes.
You got a video game.
I have to chime in. Brandon from Jerks
Yeah,
Productions' idea just now was fucking awesome.
Horror
dude.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
Great. That's a great idea.
Yeah, George gets killed by Biff, and therefore Marty has to go back in time to kill Biff and stop him from killing his father. That is great.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I love it.
All right, so Fuego, last one from you.
Last one from me. So Kevin Smith's one of my favorite directors, and I don't think he's made a good movie in quite a while, unfortunately. One that I didn't like as much when I initially saw it because I loved the initial Jersey trilogy so incredibly much, but let's take Dogma, and let's take that concept and go. I mean, there were some horrific elements to what happens, but it was mostly played for laughs, even though there were some serious subjects, that were kind of discussed. I mean, mix it with that one, I can't recall the name of it, where there was all the killer angels and maybe some prophecy flavor.
Legion.
The Legion, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and just ramp up that shit, make it like end of the world style, just big stakes, and make it incredibly bloody. More so than, I mean, we saw blood when they're cutting off their wings and
Mhm.
all that, but yeah, just give it to like an Eli Roth and let him go like just balls deep crazy. I don't know. I think that,
Balls deep crazy.
yes, exactly. You have balls. I like balls.
Should we do a speed round?
Yeah, we can do a
Lightning
speed
round,
round
yeah,
just to
still got a
finish
couple.
up. So my last ones were gonna be. I'll leave this one for you. I was gonna say both Robocop. I think a horror version of Robocop would be awesome.
First
If
one's
some guy
pretty
was
close
out
to
there
horror.
creating horror meldings of like organic tissue and machines that a dude that was the same thing had to keep stopping, I think that would be really cool.
Like they send them back in time and
No,
you
not
have
back
to
in
stop
time. It's just
them,
it's the agency is creating these things, and he's the only thing that can take them down because they're giant Ed 209 crazy creature versions of him.
kind of like Reese that gets sent back in time. I'm just kidding. I'm just
No,
making
not
the
at all.
The
I'm just
Terminator
saying no
connection.
And then also, I think I want to see a horror version of Meet Joe Black, where death comes to Earth and really starts to wreak havoc, but in an evil way.
His holiday is just fucking.
Yeah, death takes a
going
holiday where he
nuts.
starts taking way more souls than usual.
Yeah.
Like that would be really cool. So those are my last couple.
Alright, I had a few more. My 2-pack was a Will Smith 2-pack. A horror version of I Am Legend where things get a little creepier, a little more distorted.
That movie sucked.
Like Doom. Think like Doom, where you gotta fight those style monsters.
Yeah.
Stuff floating in the sky.
I
don't know,
still
stuff like
prefer
that.
the Omega Man, the other version of that.
The other one was like a horror Men in Black. I don't know. I just thought of those two. Those were awful. A Death Race style Cars version where it's animated, but it's still spiky cars, like an animated Twisted Metal.
Or shit, even
That'd be
mix in
awesome.
some Christine or from a Buick 8, like the cars are straight up evil, like possessed cars.
The Bloodsport version of a football movie. I was thinking of like The Longest Yard, or I think it's Gridiron Gang, but where they're breaking people's legs, stuff like that.
I was gonna say just a horror version of Bloodsport, where it's just a bunch of, horror killers, serial killers going after each other in some kind of underground tournament or something. I don't know.
And
Like The Condemned on the island with all the people.
Oh, I haven't seen
trying
that. Is that what that is?
That was the one
Yeah.
with Stone Cold in it, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Nope, never saw
and
that.
the last one I got, Horror Field of Dreams. I think that'd be a cool one.
Yes.
Where it's they're evil spirits.
The
and-
ghosts come back and attack the players on the field.
Yeah, you see some horrific stuff. I think it'd be awesome.
Brittany, any others from you?
I have one more. If you made like a horror Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Like you could,
Where they're like
kinda
eating the people and stuff? Like,
yeah, something like that. Like maybe like the when like
Ooh.
the
Cross it with
rise
Green
of the
Inferno?
Planet of the Apes. It was like a
Like they come
Like-
back to life.
almost like the rage virus and
Oh, like 28 days
28
later?
days later,
Okay.
kind of like that.
Okay.
Only maybe it's just the monkeys and they're just eating everyone,
okay.
but it spreads to all the monkeys instead of all the humans.
I see. Okay.
Hmm,
So instead of piranha, it's monkeys?
Yeah. I guess.
or
that.
like Zombievers.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe they're kind of smart and they like they can make plans and they're
That
not
makes
just
sense.
like zombified.
I gotcha. Okay. Fuego, any others from you?
There are times where I wish I could be Michael Jackson just with popcorn, like sitting, watching the rest of my peeps and just paying attention to the chat room constantly, because there are some damn good, very, very funny ideas on here, guys. I do have a couple last ones that I could throw out, though. I definitely got to say, what about Bob? What about Bob? It's like straight up like terrorizing a family, and they let him into their house, and the only person who knows really how evil and fucked up that this guy is the Richard Dreyfuss character, and everybody else is sold, but behind the scenes he's doing terrible things to the family. I think that could be interesting. I would honestly love to see full-on horror, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Seriously, maybe even retain the music, but like mix that in a blender with like some repo flair, and maybe keep a little bit of the campiness, but tone down a significant amount of it, and have some brutal kills, like make them like a really nasty
You chewing
practical.
up.
Yeah, and also make it just make the plant just that much scarier in the way it kind of entices and manipulates Seymour. Maybe it has some sort of weird like spores or just something that it's using to kind of brainwash him and keep him, sedated and doing its bidding and stuff. I think that could be badass. How Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like,
Yes.
crank that shit up and make it scary as
Oh man,
fuck.
the bugs, like
Yes,
huge bugs. That's great.
Have some of the kids actually get killed. Raise the stakes, man.
That's great.
You know, have Andy Machete.
You'd have to have them shrink with friends and have the friends get killed.
Yeah, exactly. So the core family would be okay.
Or bullies, or they're bullies. They all.
Oh
get
yes, maybe yes. Like bullies are chasing them.
The bullies attack them in the house and they retreat to their father's lab,
or it's
and
not
the bullies
father.
chase them up or something like that.
They bring it to school for show and tell. They shrink the whole school.
Or like an entire class, like shit. Let's say it's like a lab teacher or something, and he's like a little bit evil himself, and he like just as an experiment shrinks the whole class and just to see what the fuck happens. And I think that's the exception of my list. With I would say Alice in Wonderland being two of my favorite books ever, but I guess American McGee already kind of did that with those amazing video games, and then there's already a Wizard of Oz cranking up the horror to a full fucking niner in development. So those would be the only others that I could mention.
Evil Magic School Bus.
Yes.
I think
it's a possessed bus and it's eating children.
When we started to think of things, we started to realize just how many regular movies would make great horror movies, and we kind of wished we had more time. So we were thinking that if you guys enjoyed this topic enough, and let us know in the comments below if you did, we could come back in future ones, maybe not every week or whatever, but we could do future streams where it's top 5 non-horror comedies that we'd make into horror movies, and then top 5 non-horror dramas, all that stuff. Would you want that much of a breakdown with this topic? Because we just had a lot of fun with it, and it made for some really good discussions. So would you want to see us break it down even further to do this again? Let us know in the comments down below if so. But we're going to go ahead and call it here, you guys. Thank you very much for joining us. This was a fun live stream. Like I had a feeling it was going to be. But Fuego and I need to get ready to do the news at about 7 or so. 7 Mountain Time, 6 Pacific Standard Time. Essentially 40 minutes from now. Are they saying yes?
Yeah, they're all saying bye. They're like ready for us to be done. They're like, come on guys.
Bye later. I want the news.
Okay,
cut it out.
All right, so yeah, they say I love that. Matt Reyes says I love how you guys are an interactive show. Awesome. All right, so yeah, no jerks. We're gonna actually do a reaction video to the videos that you sent us. So you'll see it as an episode rather than me having to let you know. You'll know exactly what we thought of it. So that's gonna do it, you guys. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Andrew Mercer.
I'm Brittany Lee.
Gracias, I've been Jaime and Fuego.
And remember,
Stay
scared. Who's gonna shut it off?
I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
I made my family disappear.
It's not working.
Shut it off.
I made my